A very good evening, all. Today, we are going to discuss one of the very important topic for your examination, that is Delhi Sultanate. So, if you are learning this medieval Indian history for your examination, you cannot skip this particular topic, Delhi Sultanate, at any cost. Because this Delhi Sultanate from 13th century onwards give us some of the very important cultural exchange as well as everything new in the aspects of the political system, their administration, even religion and society. So this Delhi Sultanate topic is that much significant and important. And by understanding this basic term, we are going to discuss this very important overview and idea regarding what was this Delhi Sultanate was all about. So let me explain this topic in a good manner. So make sure that you are learning these basic information before advancedly jumping into the Delhi Sultanate ruler, such kind of things and things. Okay, so here we'll be discussing, first of all, the Delhi Sultanate was established in the year 13th century, in the period 13th century. This is the first information you should know. Now if you are dedicatedly given that particular period, it was around 1206 and 1526, meaning what? They are having 320 years of administration, and in which we can see what? Five dynasties. Whenever I say dynasties, they are ruling families. They are actually ruling this Delhi Sultanate as well. Now, the most important thing is that what was their basic contribution and idea and everything. Basically, they are trying to adopt something called as Persian, something Turkish. When I say Turkish, don't think like Turkey, the country. Whenever I say Persian and Turkish, it's a landscape and culture. Whenever we say Persian, we can say the regions of Iran basically. But whenever we say this Turkish, it will be Turkic better to say, like the regions of Uzbekistan, Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, that region as well as all other regions, meaning Turkey is a clan. I repeat, Turkic is a clan. Turkic. So that is something or some kind of beautiful culture having this Turkey people. Such kind of things are going to implement it in India as well. And as part of that, what we can see during the period of Delhi Sultanate, we can see the development of Indo-Islamic architecture. Indo-Islamic architecture. Similar to that, what we can see, the rise of Sufism in India, Sufi concept and things. We'll be discussing each and everything later and later. And similarly, what we can see, and we'll be discussing some of the very important points like their most administrative reforms. You might have heard about this thing called as ICTA system, their coinage. All these are relevant in this perspective of Delhi Sultanate. But in this particular video, we'll be having a quick understanding regarding this Delhi Sultanate. So guys, basically you should know the concept like 13th century, it was established. The period was 1206 and 1526 AD, 320 years of administration. Five dynasties were, we'll be focusing on this particular part first. And before discussing this one, we are just focusing on other thing also, how actually this Delhi Sultanate is going to establish. Thus, we are going to start with this particular dynasty called as Ghurid Empire. So, Ghurid Empire, that was founded by Muhammad Ghori, and he is going to invade India. And as part of his invasion, he is actually going to conquer many of the regions. As you guys know, the battles of Terrain 1 and 2. And by 1192 AD, what happened? During the second battle of Terrain, Ghori actually defeated Prithviraj Chauhan. So Ghori defeated Prithviraj Chauhan. And thus they got entered into the mainland of India because Prithviraj Chauhan, the Chauhan ruler, was ruling the regions of Delhi and Ajmer. And that was open. After that, what we can see, by 1194, there happened this battle of Chandwar against Jayachandra of Kanauj. And after that, what we can see, through this battle of Chandwar, Kanauj was conquered. And there we can see one military commander of Muhammad Ghori. He was who? Qutbuddin Bakhtiar Khalji. So he is going to conquer the regions of Bengal, thus destroying what? Nalanda University and things. And Muhammad Ghori after his certain conquest, especially after this 1194, is going to hand over the regions of Delhi and Ajmer to his most important slave called as Qutbuddin Aibak. And after the death of Muhammad Ghori in the year 1206, Qutbuddin Aibak is going to rule in this particular regions of Lahore. Is going to rule in the regions of Lahore or this entire region, and thus he is going to start this Delhi Sultanate, or otherwise called as the slave dynasty. So this is the basic information. So your Delhi Sultanate history actually begins with the Ghurid Empire. So learn from that. Muhammad Ghori is going to invade India. As part of that, there happened two battles, battles of Terrain number 1 and Terrain number 2. And we'll be discussing the most important battles later. Okay, and we can see what after that he's going to defeat the Kannauj ruler Jayachandra in the particular battle called as Battle of Chandua, and Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Khalji defeating or conquering the regions of Bengal, and Ghori is going to appoint Qutbuddin Aibak as the ruler of Delhi, and thus what we can see after the death of Ghori in the year 1206 is going to establish the Delhi Sultanate. So guys, this is just an introduction. Now we can jump into our particular discussion. So basically, it's an Islamic empire based in Delhi, and for 320 years here they are going to rule. This is the overall period. Learn this one, very important. And there we can see 5 dynasties. Which are the 5 dynasties? One is the slave dynasty or Ghulam dynasty, Mamluk dynasty, otherwise called as Aibak dynasty after Qutbuddin Aibak, otherwise called as Ilbari dynasty after Shamsuddin Iltutmish, who belongs to this Ilbari tribe. Such terminologies are there, very important. And they ruled till 1206. They ruled between 1206 and 1290. And after that, we can see a 30 years of administration is going to be given by Khalji dynasty. And the most important ruler was Alauddin Khalji itself. And there comes the longest duration of Tughlaq dynasty, 322 for 1414, meaning around 94 years of administration is there, and in which you can see Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Firoz Shah Tughlaq, such most important Tughlaq rulers. And after that, we have the least rulers like the Sayyid dynasty and Lodi dynasty. And they are going to rule, and the Lodi dynasty was the last one. And by 1526, what we can see, the last ruler Ibrahim Lodi is going to be defeated by whom? Babur. And thus, what we can see in the first battle of Panipat, Babur is going to win over Ibrahim Lodi and establish what? Mughal Empire. So you should know something regarding these rulers very importantly, and we'll be discussing about the most important rulers, their features and contribution in our advanced session. So make sure that you are having these basics of learning. This is very important. I suggest you to write down these notes, these points in your notebook to have a correct revision of the basic things. Okay, fine. And next we are going to discuss the most important features. Some of the very important overview and most important feature of this Delhi Sultanate. You should know something very important about these dynasties. One is Delhi was their capital. And along with that, just to try to understand, the early capital was at Lahore itself, meaning Qutbuddin Aibak actually ruled with Lahore as his capital. But Delhi became the capital, and there started the real administration of Delhi Sultanate only during the time of Iltutmish. Iltutmish was the son-in-law of Qutbuddin Aibak. Between 1219 and 1236, he is going to rule. And he transferred the administration to Delhi and established a real administration in Delhi. That's why Iltutmish is known as what? The real founder of Delhi Sultanate. And regarding the community, we can see heterogeneous, elite. Heterogeneous mean not homogeneous. Different communities are there, heterogeneous, and elite, socially higher class people, comprising the Turk, the Afghans, the Khaljis, and the Hindu converts, even the Brahmins, everyone. There had some kind of what? Elite composition in this administration. And this administration structured around provinces governed by the governors. We'll call it as what? Iqtadar. So I'll be discussing that point. We'll be discussing Iqta system. Okay, and strong military with a focus on cavalry and archery. These Muslim people basically are famous for cavalry and archery. And they introduced what? Iqta system. Iqta system. Ikta system meaning what? Something. Think about this is the all land. I'll be explaining the concept here. I won't be explaining any kind of concept in our advanced ruling class people. Okay. So if this is the total land for administration, the land will be divided into many pieces for the easiness of administration. Okay, and each land will be given to a particular military governor. Military governor. The duty of that military governor will be to rule this particular region, to raise an army from there, and to collect taxation from there, and to ensure a peaceful administration there. These are the duties of this military governor. And that military governor is called as Iqtadar, because each of these piece of land or administration, that is called as Ikta. So Ikta basically meaning the piece of land given to the military governors for administration, and in return they will be providing what? Military services. And this Iktadar actually who is going to rule this particular region will be given corresponding revenue share to them. Okay. So that system, Ikta system, actually introduced during the time of Sultan Iltutmish. So these are the basic things you should know. Some other additional things what we can see. They are established the Sultanate system, meaning the Sultan was the absolute power, and he is assisted by the council of advisors like the wazirs and provincial governors. And we can see many other officials there. We'll be discussing the officials in our advanced classes. Okay. And Ikta system, that is a land grant system, as we discussed, awarded in exchange for military services, creating a strong cavalry-based army for this Delhi Sultanate. And there we can see an extensive bureaucracy that we simply mentioned as officials. Okay. And legal system was also there, especially since it was a Muslim administration, there applied what? Sharia law. Okay. And Hindus followed what? Their customary laws. So there we can see religious tolerance and administration, everything was possible there. So these are some of the very important basic understanding point regarding the Delhi Sultanate. Also, we can see some very important perspective in the fields of economic development. Obviously, and primarily, it was in agrarian economy itself. And that's why we mentioned what? Ikta is a land system in which they collected revenues. So they collected what? Land revenue as a major source of collection. And we can see different rulers are going to collect taxation in different ratio and proportion. Okay, we'll be discussing such kind of taxation and everything later. And there occurred what? Different kinds of taxation or economic systems, like not only from the land, what we can see from trade also, and as well as after the conquest of one particular battle, we can see they are called as war booties. Onimat, war booty. Okay, meaning what? The collections during the time of war all were added to the state treasury. So development of trade routes and flourishing merchant class were one of the most important feature of this particular period. And there they also introduced new crops like cotton and introduction of coinage system. Even though there we can see cotton since ancient India, these people again gave that much emphasis and importance to this cotton trade. And also they introduced a new coinage system like Arabic coinage, Arabic coinage, gold coins. Already they're in the market, but they are going to promote in their own method. And also we can see during the time of Iltutmish, there we can see gold coins in Arabic calligraphy. Also we can see what? Tanga, that is silver coins, and Jital as the copper coins. So different coinage were also introduced during this particular period. And there existed complex social structure, definitely, because there we can say high diversity, but there existed the coexistence of Hindus and Muslims in peaceful manner. Because of the Sufism and Bhakti movement, we can see there have had a good coexistence of these communities. That is very important. That was one of the most flourishing period of the Indians. And development of Indo-Islamic architecture, obviously, and cultural exchanges happened during that particular period, especially like a literature is going to develop, everything. So Indo-Islamic architecture, one of the very important topic, and we'll be discussing this Indo-Islamic architecture not in a single manner. We'll be covering the Mughals as well along with the same. Okay. So these are some of the very important things that you should know as part of this Delhi Sultanate. And finally, religion. Islam, as you know, is the most religion of the ruling class, but there we can see tolerant towards Hinduism. When we say ruling class, we can see what the administration and the rulers were basically Muslims, right? So that's why it is mentioned like that one. And we can see also the pattern of Sufi saints and scholars. You might know something called as the famous Ajmer Dargah, Haja Moinuddin Chishti Ajmer. Such most important dargahs like the silsila for Chishti silsila, Suhrawardi silsila. We'll be discussing this Sufism later. Okay, such kind of things are going to help and promote religious interaction, tolerance, exchange, and peaceful coexistence. And emergence of Indo-Islamic cultural blend in art, literature, and architecture. Definitely we'll be discussing that one later. And development of Urdu language as well from the Persian and local languages. Okay, the Persian and the local language influence led to the development of Urdu language. And we'll be discussing some of the very important scholars of the period as well. So guys, this is all about that you should not regard in this Delhi Sultanate in a nutshell. So hope this particular video is going to help you to give a clear-cut idea. And after that, we'll be discussing the most important features or most important areas of this Delhi Sultanate one by one in our upcoming classes. So guys, make sure you are writing down the most important points. That's all for now. Thank you.